You got a charger today?
Yeah. That was dumb, but whatever, man.
It happens.
Got me out of
what's up?
Got me out of talking Venom with you. So
So you think? So you think? Because you're definitely gonna have to tell us at least a little bit about what you thought about it right after we do the intro thing, because it's a show and you're supposed to do intro things. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily Cup of Genre. Today, it's where you get everything from. You know, all your news. We talk sports. We talk geek shit. We talk comic books. Well, that's geek stuff. We talk about everything. And yeah, the best way to find us is here on YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast app. The YouTube channel is great because it's video. So if you're watching us there, thank you so much for looking at our ugly mugs today. I am Kyle Malone, one of the people that runs this shit show. And the other guy responsible for the majority of the crap, no, I'm joking, is Manny. What's up, bud?
Nothing much, man. Just a Tuesday. I hate Tuesdays.
Well, yeah, Monday was a rough start, but yeah, I guess. No, I don't see why Tuesdays. Like, you just banter, or are you legit like Tuesdays worse for you?
No, it's just banter. Just tomorrow I'll hate Wednesdays, and then, but
that works. So, yesterday the Venom trailer dropped, and there's two things to talk about. One is the content of the trailer. Christine, my wife, as she does the Anime-versal reviews podcasts with me, and she also does the No Mercy podcast when Cobra Kai's on the air with Manny and I. She and I did our reactions to the Venom Let There Be Carnage trailer, the second trailer. Dude, I told Christine in the reaction, I was like, you know what? I think Vince Accara, I think the guy's name is Fox, and then the other guy is Rotham, the big execs over at Sony. One of those was the ones that were like, we've got the Marvel playbook. We know how Feige does his shit. Okay, so you guys legitimately just ripped out the Be Funny page, right? Because that's about the only thing I could see that you guys might have taken from the Sony playbook. What'd you think of the Venom Let There Be Carnage 2 trailer?
So I actually liked the trailer. I thought Venom looked really, really cool. It also might be the fact that I just really like Woody Harrelson and just him as an actor. But I thought him as a character and everything, I thought that was cool. I thought they really showed how kind of dark that Carnage would get with the guard and sticking his tongue in his mouth. That was kind of gnarly. And then the trailer did feel intense. So all of that, I was like, wow, if you just showed me this, I'd be all in. Mm-hmm. And very, very excited. And then they would cut to these really terrible scenes with Tom Hardy and Venom, mm-hmm. Where he calls Eddie Brock a loser, mm-hmm. Full well knowing that in the first movie
he called them both losers.
Venom is a loser from his planet, yeah, according to this lore, and it just, I don't know. It just, that part just doesn't work for me. It's just, I don't want an Eddie Brock, Venom symbiote, buddy cop film. I just want Venom, and that's the part that didn't work for me. It almost felt completely out of place from the rest of the trailer and the intensity that what they had with Carnage. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't sure by the end of it, I wasn't sure what to make of the whole thing, because it was like really, really cool, really dark, really gritty, fast paced. And then here's Eddie Brock and Venom, and just really kind of
all over again.
Yeah. And it's like, this is that. I think that part it was just awful. Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy is the worst part of this movie. And so I don't
understand. Name and face plastered on it too, which is just
But
Crazy.
all the Carnage stuff I thought was really cool. He looks really good, and
He does look better now that we've seen more. I do think that the body, not necessarily the weapons, but when you're looking at just the body, legs, torso, and arms and head, right? It looks really stiff. It doesn't look as I don't know. I don't know quite how to word it. It doesn't look as fluid as you kind of feel you would get from like the comics imagery, but it's not as bad as legitimately just changing the render color on Venom for the bad guy in the last movie.
It was yeah. So if I'm watching this, I'm watching it strictly to check out Carnage and Woody Harrelson, not for Tom Hardy or Venom, because I don't know. They should have kind of turned it up a little bit as far as kind of the mood and the darkness, and it seems like they did that with half of what they want to do, and then they just kept they're close, man. They were close so far, but it's a trailer. Although I'm not expecting much from the actual character of Venom, because I think it's kind of ridiculous the way that they've portrayed him, and then somehow by the trailer, not necessarily, we'll see what we get in the end. They've been able to get the Carnage right, so I was very confused. I was like, I really want to like this, but I hate part of this, so yeah. I don't know what's going on.
What about how they're gonna have Carnage come about now? I'm sure that'll be more. I hope. I shouldn't say I'm sure. I should say I hope there's more to it than he just biting and getting symbiote mixed blood in him. Like that just doesn't jive as well with me if that's it. So I'm hoping there's more to it.
There's probably more.
It is Sony, so yeah. No big Spider-Man teases like last time with the spider and the waiting for a hero to rise type speech from that first trailer. The Daily Bugle thing, that was in the first movie. That's it is what it is. But what do you think about the fact that there's no release date on the trailer anymore, and there used to be a release date? That a lot of people are making a big deal out of that, and the studio's not saying anything that I've seen. What do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't even get a response from the PR people that I work with. And usually they're very quick to respond to me with anything I need. But when it came to asking about my curiosity about the release date, it seems like there's a lot of worry about what's going on with this Delta variant, and so now people are being a little bit careful as to their release dates for the fall. We've already seen that Clifford got pushed back, which to be honest, it may have gotten pushed back. What I don't understand is that's a movie that they could just move to Paramount Plus and it should be fine. I mean, that is their streaming service, because I'm sure so many, like, it's gonna be a big box office movie or whatever.
No.
But I can see that if you're trying to get kids to theaters, then yeah, maybe that's what you want. To be honest with you, I'm not too worried about it yet. So until actual, like if like, because I'm trying to think of something that's not so close, because like Free Guy's next week, and that's full steam ahead. I haven't heard anything about Shang-Chi. That's like early September. Obviously, Suicide Squad is full steam ahead this week.
If you heard Shang-Chi all of a sudden get slotted for day and date, I would start to worry.
Right. So at this point, I don't foresee a big problem.
You think they're just holding off, they have every intention of going with the original release date, which I think was October, wasn't it?
I think it was a little sooner than that.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage release. Let's see if there's still a release date like
September
on.
24th.
Yep,
So,
September. Okay, so I was a month off. So yeah, I would definitely say if you see Disney, because Shang-Chi's September 3rd, if you see Disney say, hey, we're gonna do day and date for that, I would start being a little bit worried because Feige had said that as of now, it's always possible, but or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was one of the Bobs, but someone over at Disney Marvel said that it's possible they're willing to do it, but that it's not on the slate for day and date. So
yeah, I mean, Disney's getting ready next week to release their new their new annual pass program. So, I mean, that's a sign that they're headed in the other direction.
yeah,
I think that it's just interesting because sometimes you're getting conflicting reports on what is what as far as what is causing the Delta variant to have its moment. There's some people that say that it's affecting everyone, and then there's other people that are saying no, it's affecting unvaccinated people, and
it's
back and
very
forth, whatever.
it's very very confusing, and
Yeah, so
that's like the one thing that we tend not to get too much into the weeds on here, and that's because we're not professionals. All we can do is say follow your local rules and
yeah,
regulations, make good choices for yourself, and we can talk about our personal experience. Like Manny said, you were saying that you went to a few screenings recently, people in the theaters not necessarily masking up or feeling as tense, but then you see on the media, you'll see other groups or other people saying the exact opposite. So all we can do is kind of wait and see and hope for the best. But that's all kind of connected to the next topic, man, which is kind of a continuation of something you and I have been talking about. Christine and I touched on it yesterday with a little box office talk on Jungle Cruise, but dude, proportionally, it made almost 50% of, it's a little less, it's like between 40 and 50% of Black Widow's domestic take, and made 50% of its Disney Plus take. We'll see if our 60+% second weekend drop theory holds for this, and then we'll check on Suicide Squad next weekend. But what did you think about Disney actually releasing Disney Plus numbers for Jungle Cruise? Because you were adamant they had to do it, and they did it.
well, yeah, because you don't just because we hadn't seen it before, and all of it. Were you trying to prove that Black Widow was a success, or is it something that you're maybe going to be trying to do going forward? And it seems like they may be releasing these numbers going forward. But then again, what does it really matter? Because I don't think that Shang-Chi is going to have a Disney a Disney Plus release. And I know that the Eternals wasn't going to have one either. So I'm not sure how much that really matters as far as how much they release those numbers. I will say that that's great. But then you kind of see where people are as far as going to the theaters. They'll pay the $30 and stay at home rather than go out. I live in a conservative part of California, in the Central Valley, where whatever a Democrat says, they're going to do the exact opposite.
Just because.
Kind of, actually, it seems that way. It's very
straight up,
and it's both sides. It's a horseshoe effect where they're pretty much the same people. They just don't know it.
Yeah, because like in the 60s, it was always the what people call conservatives speaking out against free speech, and now it's the leftist former hippies screaming, "No, we must regulate speech." Anyways, carry on.
Yeah. So it goes back and forth, and so theaters are doing very well out here, man. I went to 3 films this past weekend. We went to go see Stillwater, G.I. Joe, this is the Snake Eyes, the origin movie, and we saw The Green Knight, and all three rooms that we were in had a very decent amount of people. As a matter of fact, that I thought we were going to be the only ones at Snake Eyes, and then we get in there. There's a lot, legit, like a good amount of people in the room, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. I didn't expect, given what people were saying about the film, I didn't expect that many people there, but it was a pleasant surprise. So it's hard for me to gauge what the climate is because I live in an area that is so adamant about being out. But as far as where I live, theaters are what's up. And then also in LA for press, gig in Nancy last night, I saw Free Guy. I mean, I went a couple of weeks and saw Suicide Squad and Old. So they're also moving ahead with in-person events. Ted Lasso had a blue carpet. Cesar Milano has a new show that there's an interview that Nancy did that you could check out also on our YouTube page. They're doing live in-person things. I think the caution is now a lot of places, including the Bay Area, went back to mask mandates for indoor activities. And LA has been that way for the last 2 or 3 weeks now, I think. So I think that the theaters are gonna, everything. I think it's gonna be fine. I think it's just this kind of new sprout is a small problem for some areas, not necessarily some of the bigger areas where people actually did get vaccinated.
Well, we hope everything turns out for the best, because you and I are just, we're huge movie buffs in general, but you and I are theater buffs. Like, to this day, I love premium theater experiences. Sure, they're great, but I would still rather watch a movie on a regular screen with just, regular stadium seating in a regular seat than watch it at home. In general, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love that experience of being with a crowd, especially in today's event style films. Like, it's a way to experience something social, but still have some not necessarily privacy, but some I guess independence. Like, it's a shared experience, but not in the same way that something more intimate, one-on-one or smaller groups. I was telling Christine, like, how awesome would it be to get invested in a big show like Game of Thrones or an anime that runs for one or two seasons with a really exciting arc, like Dr. Stone or Dinah Xenon or something, and you have a watch party for the finale, the big climatic event at the end, or second to last episode, or whatever. Like, having an in-game level experience with other media, other properties, other stuff. I wish we could do that. And I appreciate Disney Plus's watch party function. That is really, really cool, to be able to watch things with your friends and family. I really wish we could do that more often. Like, even if things are kind of shut down, lockdown, whatever, restricted, like, that's a technology I would like to see spread. But piracy concerns and money concerns and all that kind of limit a lot of what we could do with watch parties. But do you feel any different, man, about theaters? I mean, don't you just like being there to be with others about that experience?
So what I like about the modern day theater is your choice for your theater experience. For example, Regal has a variety of different offerings to enhance your theater experience, starting with different types of seats. Some of them have a lot more like lazy boy style
Luxury
ones, and I mean, just seats are super comfortable. You have something called 40X, which gives you, I mean, full immersion into what you're watching, including the seats move. You get water, air blowing at you. If it's snowing, the room is actually snowing. If there's gunshots, you see the ricochet of the bullets, and you see the smoke. They have such, and what impresses me about the smoke is that their ventilation system is really good. So when the room fills up with smoke, it also dissipates very, very quickly. And so they did a really good job at designing that. I noticed that you have IMAX screens, which are gonna show you a larger percentage of the screen. I used to joke that I used to think that IMAX screens weren't necessarily bigger; you were just sitting closer. But I always thought that was kind of funny. You have RPX, which is going to be supposedly for Regal at least their ultimate sight and sound rooms, and then you have the really cool room which is called the Screen X, which also features like 180 immersion in the film. So you have a screen on all three sides, which that's how I saw Birds of Prey, and that was really cool. I didn't even know exactly what that
they
entailed.
use a lot of like accent lighting on the sides and images for certain scenes, and what's really cool is a lot of this film text started out in things like planetariums, nature shows. You think your original IMAX purposes, those scientific things back in the day, and then like you said, 4D, 3D theaters, simulators, like a lot of that technology is being brought over to regular theater screens, and some of it's gimmicky, but some of it's legit awesome, like accent lighting, and there's the not accent, that's the wrong word, there's a word for it, like the lighting that you put behind your TV, and it displays certain lights that help immerse the room and prevent washout and things like that. All of that comes from those like experience rides and things, and it's really cool to kind of see it hit in theaters.
Yeah, I mean, AMC has an amazing Dolby Cinema room, which I have never seen so many speakers in a theater. I mean, they have them crawling all across the top and all through the sides, and it just, the sound you get is ridiculous. I mean, I can go on and on because all these companies have their own gimmicks for different screens. So all to say that I love going to theater because I get to choose which way I want to watch my movie. Jungle Cruise is something I probably want to watch in 4DX. A horror movie is something I probably want to watch in an RPX style film, so I can get the best sound, because you know that when it comes to horror, a lot of times it's about those really subtle sounds and movements and things like that. That sets the mood. So I love the theater, and plus, most filmmakers make their movies so that to be watched on the big screen. You know that filmmakers like Christopher Nolan, I know that James Gunn was very adamant that also his Suicide Squad, he made it to be seen on IMAX, and big, bold, bright. And you get the most out of it when you watch it in an IMAX screen. So, I mean, hell, dude, I'm telling you, I every other week I live at the theater, pretty much three or four movies at a time, and we're watching indie films, and we're watching the mainstream films and everything in between, and sometimes even classic films. We have I think one or two theaters that does classic films. I know that we're gearing up to go see Silence of the Lambs, and what was the other one that was gonna come out very soon? The movie Mank, the movie that guy made.
I'm not sure.
Shoot, I forgot what it's called. It's a very, very old movie, but to my point, we're going to the theater to watch everything and anything that is offered, because that's the way we believe also movies should be watched on the big screen. And this is by no way saying that if you feel more comfortable watching movies at home, then go ahead and enjoy your movies at home, because I'd rather people feel comfortable and enjoy something in home with their family than to try and force themselves to do something that they don't feel comfortable with. The whole point of the movie experience is to be able to take you out of the norm for a little while, and however best that works for you, then do it that way. Hell,
Yeah.
if it means an iPad, then also an iPad, whatever.
I mean, the only, you know, side part to that is the fact that the Disney Plus numbers for Black Widow and Jungle Cruise do show that it's a very, very, very small percentage of people utilizing the day and date service, which is why I would say don't get used to it. Will there be a future for day and date? Yeah. Is it going to be common from this point forward until such time? No, no. I think we're going to see a return to very, very few day and date. But the side part for that is that the window from theater to either VOD and or home video digital purchases is now going to be 3 months average for almost everything. It was about 4 months, 5 months for big movies before the pandemic. You got people making all these deals for 4 to 5 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks for this studio. That's I think that like 90 days is going to be like everyone front loads their movies now though, man. You don't
Yeah.
like I told Christine, the whole idea of wait for the crowds to die down in the past was you had to wait in line to buy the ticket, wait in line to go into the to get your concessions, then go get your seats, fight with saving seats. And so people legitimately did wait for the crowds to die down. And nowadays the only line you might have to wait in, and they've got online ordering now, so not even everywhere, is the concession stand.
Yep.
Other than that, you could literally roll up 5 minutes before the show starts, and you know exactly that you're going to get in and have a seat. So, and not only that, but theaters pump out, in a big Avengers movie, a third of the screens will be showing Avengers. So if you got, 15 screens, 5 of them, 6 of them sometimes are going to be showing Avengers or Star Wars or whatever, and everyone gets a chance to see it. It's all front loaded. So studios, I do. I think day and date still has a future and will occasional use for different projects here and there. But overall, I think we've seen people want to still, for the most part, see a movie in the theater. That's the feeling I get.
Yeah, I don't see why not. It is the easiest to go to the theaters now that it's ever been. It's always been about trying to the fact that you don't want to fight somebody with your friends for their seats.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's nice that we really don't have that anymore, because you know exactly where you're sitting. The letter and number are on your phone and they're on your seat, so you just walk on up. And there's that whole convenience thing also of being able to order your drink beforehand and just pick it up. So some of those excuses are gone, and I know that for us it's just been super convenient, because you know exactly where you're sitting. And I think that's the biggest part of it.
I legitimately give up my military discount on the apps like Regal apps and stuff like that because of the convenience of it. I don't want to, yeah, sure. The discount is almost the price of a ticket for when you add in all 3 of us, but it's that convenience factor of literally, and I know I just got done talking about how much I like theaters as a social experience. I do, but I don't like waiting in line. I'm ready for the experience to be with a group. I don't have patience for people in line. So that's the difference there.
I'm a con guy, so lines are life, And
well, that is true. If it's certain groups, yes, because the conversation will be good, and you're not It's not like waiting in line at Disneyland or at old theaters where you could be sitting next to a normie that doesn't know jack shit about the movie you're about to see, but he or she likes the actor in it, so that they're there to see it, and you have no good conversation. So that's what
What's wrong with people checking out films?
No, nothing's wrong. I'm saying you won't have necessarily the conversations you would have in a line at a convention. Like,
okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not against them seeing it. I want them to. Like I just said, they might not be into it, but they like that actor. That's not a bad thing. God, dude, pay attention. Maybe after this.
Well, you make it sound like it's such a bad thing.
No.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation offers the best deals and discounts on the best grow products on the market. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
I mean, I'm an asshole, but I'm not 100% a dick, you know?
1000%.
No. Anyways, yeah. Well, thank you guys over at Grow Generation. Please, if you are growing plants at home, you're looking for lights and chemicals and fertilizers. Everything's there. Let them know who sent you. And thank you, Grow Generation, for sponsoring the Genreverse Podcast Network and the Daily COG Genre. Everyone, please hit that subscribe button, bell button, follow us, all that good stuff. I hate housekeeping. Oh my God, dude, is Disney having a bad week in the public opinion sphere or what? So yesterday at 4:46 p.m. someone got a response from Dave Bautista about his non-participation in the upcoming What If show from Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
And as you guys can see here, this guy Portal GOTG asked, why aren't you voicing Drax? And Dave said, I was never asked, to which James Gunn says, what? Stephen Ford, he's an actor. I think he's done some video games and something else. CW, isn't it? Teen Wolf.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Teen Wolf.
Oh yeah,
so,
don't ask me about Teen Wolf.
Yeah, you've got people on there just kind of surprised. Now, it's not a surprise that certain people aren't in the show. We already knew, like, Robert Downey wasn't going to be in it. We knew that Evans wasn't in it. Larson's not in it. So it's not necessarily that he's not in it. It's that comment right here. Now, this being said, this comes on Disney, not necessarily Marvel, but again, Feige's the head of it, and they work for Marvel, which is subsidiary of Disney, so shit goes uphill in this sense, right? You have Disney throwing Scarlett Johansson's money information out there, which not the best way to handle the situation, guys. Like, I get it, I get the point and the idea, but that's not necessarily how you do it. I was first one out of the gate saying, look, Disney's going to have a leg to stand on. There's no way to say that the movie would have performed better, and there's no way to protect the additional properties or shareholders and investments if we don't release. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just saying from a standpoint, when they say this is why we broke contract and why we shouldn't be punished for it, that's the reasoning, and it is a logical reasoning based on just numbers. That being said, you have that going on, and then this casting thing, dude. It doesn't look good. I'm not saying things are bad. A lot of people still back Kevin Smith. We know he fought super hard for Robert Downey Jr. to be Iron Man. That he's on record saying that he doesn't care about money, and he does have a boss over at Disney. But what do you think, man? What do you think about the kind of PR? I don't want to say nightmare, but mess. It's messy.
I'm used to it. I see actually Disney more as that evil conglomerate more than anything else.
Mhm.
Do I enjoy their product? I do, but it's the same. I feel the same way as I feel about Walmart executives or Jeff Bezos over at Amazon. They're a corporation first,
Mhm.
and so they're going to do whatever's best for their pocketbook first.
Mhm.
And so when things like this happen, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me that they were fighting a lawsuit from the city of Anaheim because of their employees'
Mhm.
wages. It doesn't surprise me that um, they threw one of their actresses that had done so much for them under the bus all of a sudden. It does
Bad
not.
too,
It
man.
does not. None of this surprised me, man. It's the South Park Mickey Mouse. I think that they've always hit the nail right on the head in their portrayal of Mickey Mouse and the conglomerate that they are.
Oh man.
So, I mean, what are you gonna do? Just look at some of their filming choices also when they did Mulan
Mhm.
and and things like that. So, no surprise here, man. And it's a reason why I've never been also super excited to visit I've never been the type of person to always like itch to go to Disneyland and things
Yeah.
like that. I
I'm a
will
thrill guy, so they don't have
so
enough rides for
I'm
me.
always I'm always looking to go to Six Flags or even hell,
Universal.
I've been itching to go to Universal. I still have to this day have not visited the Wizardly World of Harry
Oh,
Potter, and
oh,
that
gotta
annoys
go
me
to
a little bit.
Orlando with us one year, man. Like
I know
everyone should meet up in Orlando.
that
Like
would be
a
great.
big LRM Genreverse trip to Orlando.
That would be super fun. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's Disney. It shouldn't. I don't understand why it still surprises anyone. Or and then it's
What do you think? Because everything that I've seen, and again, I'm not absolving him. He is still the face of Marvel's studios. He's the face of Marvel. And he does have a lot of control over even on the publishing side to a certain extent
yeah
in his
now.
position. However, his name is not being dropped, and Marvel's name itself is not being dropped as much as you see Disney. Like everything, to your point, I think, and again, I'm not absolving Feige at all, and I'm not even absolving Marvel, because definitely he has to be tracking who's been offered a contract, who's been offered what money there is to pay for productions and things. All is going to come across his desk, whether he reads it in detail or not. It's going to come across his desk. What do you think about the fact that necessarily you're not seeing big Marvel names being dragged through this yet, and might not?
Well, I mean, there's two names already. I mean, one was just not offered a role clearly, and the other one was kind of we talked about Scarlett Johansson.
Oh no,
So
I mean like you're not seeing the executives. Like you're seeing it
oh
like being
well
aimed at the bigger umbrella, not the Marvel umbrella. And not saying that it won't be, just not yet.
well because it's the bigger umbrella that signs the checks.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Marvel's Disney's Avengers. It's Disney's Marvel's Avengers. Disney's the one who owns them, just like they own the Muppets and they own Star Wars and and other properties. So that's I think that's the main reason why, because when it comes to a legal battle, you're not suing Marvel, you're suing Disney.
That's true.
So that I think that's the main reason. Although yeah, I do wonder why. I mean, hell, you brought in Chadwick Boseman and
Mm-hmm.
other huge names for What If. Why didn't you bring back Bautista? That's a very easy and simple one, I would think, to put together.
I will say this: Nick Dahl did bring up one good point, and I always like picking on Nick, but the guy is a wealth of information from inside Hollywood, having worked out in Hollywood on sets, having worked at movie theaters as management level to see about distribution and release dates and marketing and all that work. So he did bring up the idea of when certain contracts were written, and we know like Dave came on in 2014 for Guardians, while Boseman comes on in 16 for Civil War. So there's a lot to it where it's like, yeah, sure, maybe you could, but still that doesn't
Yeah,
all
but
add up.
Yondu also, Michael Rooker came on
exactly.
the same time, and so did the actor who played the soldier, warrior, whatever you want to call him, who's also in the same episode, who says, the one who says, who? Star-Lord?
Oh yeah. Digimon. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. There's a older movie where he's the father of a child war soldier, like a child soldier in Africa that's kidnapped or something like that. And I saw him, and it's an old movie from the 90s, I think. And when I saw him in the commercial, it was because he was so young. It was definitely one of his earlier movies. I was like, who? It's just like lined up perfectly. And I was like, the only one here to enjoy this joke is my wife. But yeah, no, like I said, Nick's got a point, but it doesn't necessarily all add up to what we're seeing.
They get whoever they want, and I don't know. I think I don't know.
It's kind of hard to not be like, Kevin, what's going on, dude?
Right. Yeah, so it is what it is as far as that. I don't know. It's just there's so much going on right now too that you can't blame hiccups happening left and right because of the situation that we find ourselves in. It's a kind of unprecedented. Are we open? Are we not? Are we going to close? Are we not? What is life right now, man? So but as far as like Disney and their decisions, they've made sketchy decisions. So all the time. Hell, you're still mad about the
authors and artist treatment over at Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
1000%. And like I said, I can definitely 100% see Scarlett Johansson's and her team's side of things. There's valid contract language there. There's valid concerns. What if you didn't do Disney Plus? Could it have eked out extra money in the theaters? But I can also see what Disney's going to say, and I could see where a judge can, apply a train of thought to side with the look. I think it's going to end up being settled. The voice acting thing almost pisses me off more because that's like you didn't even ask. Did you at least let them know, hey, we're going to pick up a voice actor and instead, like, that's what I'm because again, that goes to what you brought up about the Star Wars thing. When I accidentally break the news to an author that his works are being reprinted, the company didn't even say, hey, you're going to have new covers to sign, call your agent and get some signings booked up at Books A Million or Borders or whatever. I don't know where people buy in-person books anymore. But Noble, man. Yeah, there you go. But that's upsetting to me because that one's specifically, you can't pull Feige out of the equation. And the only reason I bring that up is because he's like a hero to a lot of people that love the MCU because of the attention to detail and care that there's been through the stories for the MCU. But like you said, he's still a business guy. No matter how much he cares about the story, the people, the cast and crew, he still has a budget and he still has to make a certain amount of profit. He has expectations, like that all has to be balanced. So yeah, I want to be a Kevin Feige fanboy, but this is one of those areas where I'm just like, man, I don't think he can get out of any type of direct blame on this Dave Bautista thing. I don't know.
Yeah, they should. I think if they were asking everyone else, they should have asked him. It's plain and simple. And since we're on the topic, just to give you my thoughts, I saw the first 3 episodes of What If.
Okay.
And I will say it is, I call it kind of a dessert or a treat for fans of the MCU because it takes us back to different moments in the MCU timeline where we've already seen, and then obviously it flips the scripts and tells us a different story. So it feels new and nostalgic at the same time.
Okay.
So I think that's what for me it made it a lot of fun, because I enjoyed seeing the retelling of these stories, but in a different perspective with different characters. T'Challa as Star-Lord, as we've already seen was going to happen in the trailer, was a whole lot of fun. Dude, my favorite thing though out of this whole thing is Peggy Carter. I think her character was phenomenal in her episode, so I enjoyed the heck out of it, and I'm looking forward to more, very very soon.
I will say this, and of course, no spoilers and all that good stuff. But I confirm. Okay, that looks good. And this quote from uh executive producer for Loki, or is it Loki film executive producer Bad Winderbaum. It's no coincidence that the show picks up right after Loki. The multiverse has erupted in every possible direction. What If gives us a chance to explore that. So it's jumped this conversation about what if and canon, right?
What If is not canon. They're short stories. It's just the quote says it's it's an appropriate time to tell stories like this because of the fact that you have so many possibilities. I mean, infinite possibilities, really. It does not mean that you're going to see Peggy Carter's character as she is in the MCU in the future. It doesn't mean because in that case, then I can't tell you. I can't say there's one of the episodes. I can't talk about it yet. Mm-hmm. But it just allows for fun storytelling. Let them stand on their own and let them be. Stop trying to make them fit in something bigger. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, and they talk about each episode's a separate universe.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They don't. It's a multiversal canvas. They don't want to talk about spoilers. And it's cool. That's what I kind of wanted to. You answered the question for me. Was like it is because a lot of times people take things out of context. Again, casual viewers, not a bad thing, but they might not know all of the nuances that go with terminology within MCU and all of that. So I was just curious if it played it as if it was a what if in the multiverse or not, and you're saying it does not appear that way. So that's cool.
Well, yeah.
I was going to say, as a comic book fan, I don't know how much you do know about the Captain Britain Corps, but I did a little bit of research after I heard a term applied to them, which was multiverse Green Lanterns, and that they kind of act like a TVA of their own. I don't want to ask what Peggy's doing, but she's been I think confirmed or rumored for season 2 of What If, which is rumored or confirmed. No, I think that one's official. That's kind of an interesting thing to look at, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because it's I wonder how many other female focused episodes they're gonna have, and if it's like just Peggy Carter, I'm gonna be very disappointed. But I'm not disappointed to see more of her. Let me get that right. The diversity of characters. That's what I'd be interested in seeing as far as what characters get certain spotlights.
So speaking of diversity and spotlights, before we wrap it up, talk about our Free Guy screening partnership. Blue Beetle got cast, man, with someone that you and I and Christine sitting over here writing right now are all big fans of. Now I'm not familiar with the character too much. While I bring up the actor and the article, tell us a little bit about Blue Beetle and Xolo being I know I probably fucked up his name. Miguel from Cobra Kai, please say his name without fucking it up for us and talk about Blue Beetle and stuff. I'll bring up that article.
Yeah, so not that he's been cast. The news is that the report is that he is in talks.
There's the word.
To star, because I saw one or two sites that did put it up as he is, and that has not been confirmed yet, and that was not what the rap dropped as an exclusive yesterday. So yeah, Cobra Kai star Xolo Maridueña is in talks to play Blue Beetle Jaime Reyes, which is a Hispanic teenage superhero who we've seen in Young Justice. We've seen him in a featured DC animated film as well. Very, very cool because we do the Cobra Kai podcast. What do we call that again?
Mercy.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! The No Mercy podcast.
It's been a year almost.
Has it really? God damn!
Brian gave us that really awesome intro for guys. If you missed out on No Mercy
go check it out.
Go check it out, please do on YouTube and our podcast channel.
So yeah, he's been fantastic on there.
Absolutely.
And so no doubt that he was also kind of like when you're fantasy casting characters and things like that, he was my choice also for Jaime Reyes. It just looks like he's the right guy for it. So very, very excited to see what he has to offer, and I think he's going to do great. He has that kind of Jaime Reyes personality. And if you want to check him out more, like I said, Young Justice, he's featured in that. He's not the Ted Cord Blue Beetle. He is absolutely the younger new version. I know that yesterday there was some talks on Slack on is this going to promote that the Blue Beetle Booster Gold relationship. That's not the right character, although I can see them maybe doing like a younger Booster Gold or something like that to fit fit a little bit better, but I doubt it, highly doubt it. Just let it be for what it is, and let me enjoy this, because it's gonna be something that is going to be featured on HBO Max, and it's going to be directed by Angel Manuel Soto. So yeah, good things. I mean, I went from really bitching and complaining about the lack of representation of Hispanics in comics book properties to DC really really stepping up and giving me at least a couple of characters to be excited for, including Sasha Kai is like a Supergirl, and now Xolo also playing Blue Beetle. So good stuff. Exciting times. Also, let's not forget Batgirl, who's going to be played by Leslie Grace.
Indeed. You mentioned Booster Gold again. I'm not familiar with the characters that like that. Is this a character that you could do a Black Adam and Shazam thing where Blue Beetle can just do his own movie, or does the Booster Gold character have to be a part of his story?
It doesn't have to be. They're just
often together,
often seen as longtime friends, things like that. Not necessarily that it has to be. No, but this is not the, like I said, that's technically, if you really want to get it, this is not the right Blue Beetle for that.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll see how the chips fall for this, man. I like the kid, and I, I'm almost 40, so I can say kids, and I think he's done a great job on Cobra Kai. He's been, one of the best parts of that show consistently. And I'm sure we'll hear all about how much of a comic book fan he is. Not saying that he's not. All Hollywood people say it, but no, I'm really excited for him. It's a great opportunity, like you said, to take a something we've constantly talked about on this show and Slack texts and all that. It's like, you guys have these characters that are just sitting on the sidelines that have rabid fan bases, and I mean that in the best way possible. Like I'm a rabid Final Fantasy fan and stuff. I mean, in good way, and they're not just gonna help float a character or a property. They're gonna help bring it to the mainstream, like they did with characters like Doctor Strange, Black Panther. Even you could even look at Iron Man to a degree. Even though when that movie came out, Civil War, the book series had made him a fairly recent popular name. But you know what I'm getting at? Like this is it. You guys had this great Hispanic character sitting there, and you guys are now using it outstanding and giving Xolo a great opportunity to build his resume, because let's face it, he's got some talent, man. He really does. It's not always the best stuff to work with there, but I really see a lot of effort from him on the show. I really do.
Yeah, it was just kind of sad how they used that arc after he got hurt.
But
that's not his fault.
The first part,
Right.
So, anyways, last thing to talk about before we do our house cleaning and get the hell off here, man. We have our giveaway, or not giveaway, our screening partnership. Could you talk a little bit about what's going on here?
Yeah, so we partnered with 20th Century Fox and with the I always forget this. GoFobo. I always butcher that for whatever reason. And we want to take you guys behind the scenes a little bit on what we do, because we get access a lot of times to movies early. Heck, last night Nancy and Gig both saw Free Guy in preparation for some of the work that we do, or sometimes just to get our reaction, to be honest. And so we want to do the same and help and for you guys, and because we're fans just like you are. So I think we want to share that kind of experience. So if you are in the Houston or Chicago area, then we have a screening for you, a free screening, and you can go to our site. There's a piece there, and then also it's pinned on our Twitter, and it's first come first serve. So if it fills up, it fills up. So you can go ahead and claim some passes and watch the movie early.
Right there. For everyone that was not on YouTube, I did bring up the homepage, and it's got Ryan Reynolds from Free Guy. It looks like some sparks flying by his car as the front image, and inside the article you'll see a link for Houston and a link for Chicago, and then I had brought up the Houston link. So yeah, it's cool, man. Screeners are fun. You guys never know how busy it could be. Like Manny said, he expected to go into a screening and it be mostly empty, and you'll often be surprised, and a lot of times, like he said, there's people in media or critics that are at these screeners, and you never know what type of experience you'll get at those. They're fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually the GoFobo ones are not for critics or
okay.
reviewers. As a matter of fact, they'll ask you beforehand, are you general public, or are you in the industry? If you're in the industry, they're like, nah, bro, you need to move it along. But yeah, okay, it's to get fans' reaction. But I will say this, I got text messages from a couple of people who saw it yesterday, and they were pleasantly surprised by it.
Very cool.
Because expectations aren't too high necessarily for this movie, it does, but everyone was like, no, this was good. So
very cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Please, if you haven't already, if you watch all the way through, that is outstanding, especially if you watch through the ads. Thank you so much for that beautiful revenue. It helps keep us in business and giving you guys reliable news and opinions every day over at LRMonline.com. And then, of course, our YouTube channel, like I mentioned, please hit subscribe, the bell, so that way you can be notified. We're going to be starting a clip show channel soon. look for, you know, the funny segments out of the different podcasts, behind the scenes type things, little short 3 to 5 minute segments. So keep your eyes out for that. And then of course, wherever you get your podcast from, audio format, you know, Spotify, Google, Apple, we're all over the place. So please follow us there and share us with some friends and family, guys. And definitely reach into the comments, reach out to us on social media. It's in the description below and on your screen if you're watching us on YouTube. And let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, what you like, what you don't, and just join in the conversation. We would love to see you guys live on Thursday mornings in the YouTube chat. Everything's free. Like I said, help us keep it that way. Manny does a lot of interviews and helps run the interview side of the house. So Manny, what's been going up and what is going to go up?
So Disney's starting their second season of Short Circuit, which showcases a talent from their animation side.
Mhm.
I interviewed five of those, five of the five animators, as well as the head of production for that initiative. And it's a lot of fun because these are the people that worked on your Frozens, on your Zootopias, all of everything that they've done over at Disney Animation. These animators now get a chance to make a quick short, something that they're very, very passionate about. You can also see we have interviews in Spanish thanks to Nancy Tapia, who does such a fantastic job with her Spanish interviews. Gets some of the best talent, including the best family. And I mean, she just recently talked to Cesar Milano about one of his new series, Gig as well. He has such always has interesting interviews. The Boy Behind the Door was supposed to be a very good movie with Lonnie Chavez. That's the second time we've talked to him, because that is a rising star as far as kid actors go. We have an interview with Matt Damon, and then I know Gig's been very busy also with the Lego Masters contestants, as well as some of the Gordon Ramsay Uncharted chefs that are featured. So a little bit of everything. I mean, Ted Lasso red carpet also. Just go ahead and take a look, give us a follow, because if we can continue to grow, we can continue to offer screenings and movie passes and all kinds of things for you, because people want to work with us more, and we are more than happy to do so and more than happy to share the love.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Like I said, best way to help us, to help you, hit subscribe, hit follow, share us with some friends and family, follow us on Twitter, do all that good stuff. I think that's it. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so I don't have to plug the live show. That's awesome. Yeah. Let's get out of here, Manny. Bye, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.